I'm Roger Yeagle. We're here on the Monument Fire. I've spent a 28-year career with the Forest Service, was a certified burn boss, and I'm very concerned with the condition of the fuels left after the fires. The fuel is anything that burns in the forest, and most of these fires leave us with a great deal of the landscape that has been burned with high severity or high intensity burns. The fuel loads are in the hundreds of tons per acre, and only a very small percentage of those lands are ever treated. We are concerned about what is left after these burns, especially around communities like Hayfork. The Monument Fire, the one we're looking at currently, burned over 200,000 acres and burned around several of the communities here in Trinity County. We have to be concerned with the fuel that remains and the risk that fuel will have to these rural communities and the adjacent green stands for decades, if not centuries. In the current political realm, it is very difficult to do any salvage logging. Most of that activity ends up in court. Very little gets done on public lands. On private lands, I would say upwards of 90% of those acres are salvaged, cleaned up, and replanted. There's several methods of cleaning it up. The best method is to remove it and to utilize it. It's very difficult to burn that heavy fuel in a prescribed fire because you don't get a window of opportunity. The dead fuel will take up the first rains in the fall like a sponge. So it does burn, but it always burns at the wrong time of year. In the middle of fire season, when it's most difficult to contain and control it, especially in the drought situation, we need to protect by managing the stands around these communities. We need to make them more fire resilient. And I would start with a 5-mile radius around where the housing is in a community and have a plan for managing that forest for fire resilience. When we talk about fire resilience, we are talking about primarily reducing the fuel loads, especially the dead fuel loads, around communities so that firefighters will have a chance when the next fire comes. Very, very difficult if you have in the hundreds of tons per acre dead wood, brush growing up beneath it for the firefighters to address that. We not only have to take a look at what we're doing in terms of mitigating the danger of the fuel, but also helping our firefighters be able to contain a fire that's going to come through there in the future. And that means we need to clean up the dead wood.